Hello, I'm live and I'm literally still setting up my little tripod so that I just didn't have it ready. Let's see if I can fix it a little while I'm waiting. We'll see who's gonna pop on today. Welcome to Sext. One person. Yay, I'm not alone. Who are you? Reveal yourself. Say hi, please. It's very strange. It never gets old being strange talking to myself alone in a room, staring at the screen, having faith that someone is on the other end. So please say hello for here. And looking forward to a very quick chat, but nonetheless, hopefully meaningful. Hi, Clark. How are you doing today, Clark? It's good to see you. Wait for a couple more people to sign on. Please say hello if you're watching. Let me know how you're doing today. Maybe what kind of energy space you're in right now, what you're bringing to this space. Feel free to share in the comments. I know that every week when we do Sext, we're offering a grounding moment, a centering moment to sort of help us reset in some hopefully helpful ways. And we're not all, we're not all in the same headspace. Some of us are in harder spaces. Some of us have a reprieve. Some of us are in maybe even really great spaces. So we all come to this little moment at the intersection of all our various places in life that we're in and try to share in this space together. If you're not familiar with Sext, Sext is Latin for sixth, and it is the 6th hour of the divine office, or if you're familiar with praying the hours, Sext is at the noon hour. And so every Thursday this fall, we want to offer you this space, a kind of a prayer space, but maybe not in the traditional way that you think of prayer, more as the sort of attention, resetting of our posture, reminding ourselves of the divine presence in our lives that's already there. We just sometimes forget to pay attention to it. So yeah, feel free to say hello. Hi Julia, hi Clark, and hello whoever else is watching. Would love to hear from you in the comments. Okay, quick message for today is just an invitation to honor the subtle shifts in your life. And here's what I mean by that. So Lyle and I, we got a new boat earlier this spring. And prior to this, we've had a boat for a few years. But prior to this, we would go on the boat, but not as much as we did with this new one. And then certainly not after Labor Day. After Labor Day, we were pretty much done. School's in session, the fall activities and programming and stuff are happening, and we just sort of shift from summer to fall kind of abruptly in that back to school season. But this summer with our new boat, which is a wake surfing boat, we picked up the hobby of wake surfing, and we found that amidst all of the chaos of life, we find a lot of joy in that, learning that new hobby, and we find a lot of connection together. And so we have continued going out on our boat, even past school starting, even past Labor Day. Once a week we go out and we try to wake surf. And I made this joke the other day that it was the first time in my life, always living in the South, that I wasn't angry at the extension of summer that we always get. We don't really in Texas have a true fall. We have glimpses of it. It comes a little later than we would all like, but the weather tends to still be pretty warm. And I've always been a little bitter about that. And I always get a little bit down in August and September because I tend to be just over it, like a lot of people. Hi, Sarah. And so this is the first time in my life that I have just not wanted fall to come because I'm enjoying this new hobby of wake surfing so much that I'm eating up every warm moment that we have, because it means I can continue to go out there. So because of that, I've been in denial about fall. for the first time in my life, which works fine being in Texas, right? But then something started to happen to me in the last couple of weeks. And what that was that I started to notice the subtle shifts. I started to realize that we always joke in Texas that even though it's hot, as soon as September hits, we are getting our pumpkin spice lattes. We are burning our fall scented candles. We are baking pumpkin bread. And we are sometimes even in just the barest hint of cool weather, we are pulling out scarves and boots and crazy things like that because we just really want it to be fall. And so I always felt like we just made our own fall. We didn't really have a true fall. But what I've noticed in honoring these subtle shifts is that we do have a fall in Texas, obviously. I've noticed the slight change in the weather, and I've noticed a different kind of feeling in the air and a different kind of energy as I see the slightest change in the leaves and just this really, really subtle shift that even though we don't have the quintessential fall that we see in the movies or in other parts of our country, that fall is still happening and that the season is still changing, no matter if we acknowledge it or not, no matter if our commercial seasons are saying one thing or another. If we really pay attention, that subtle shifting of the season is happening. And so really just a simple reminder was for me to honor that, but also to honor the subtle shifts around me and within me. And I want to invite you to do that today in this moment, just to think about your own life, your own season, how your season within you shifts this time of year maybe, or maybe you're experiencing some kind of transition, or maybe you've experienced some kind of an interruption in your life. Maybe you've just moved. Maybe you're experienced a health crisis. Maybe something's happening in your family. All those things that happen on the daily that sort of shift what we think our rhythm should be or what our rhythm used to be. And I'm asking us to pay attention to those shifts and just honor them for what they are. Accept them and see in that acceptance how you can kind of go with the rhythm and flow of your life and experience more compassion within yourself and around you, and an openness to whatever changes are happening in your life. Honor the subtle shifts. And then I also want to invite you to honor the subtle shifts in your own energy. So pay attention to your body, pay attention to your emotions. How have you been feeling lately? Are you stressed out? Are you sad about something, slightly anxious? Are you feeling neutral? Are you feeling any inklings of hope? What's the energy around you? And pay attention to how that energy shifts from moment to moment and from day to day, and honor whatever the energy space is for you. Don't be hard on yourself. You might have experienced something in your life, and maybe you feel like you should have adjusted to A, B, or C, or maybe you have something happening at work. But whatever it is, the ingredients of your life are informing the energy space that you are in, and paying attention to that energy space and noticing every subtle shift can help you to sort of cope with your present moment. I hope this makes sense. And then finally, I just want to say to honor the subtle shifts in your understanding, in your faith journey, and in your evolving. I think that so many of us, especially in this community, in the surrounding community of our church, are experiencing a lot of what we might call deconstruction, or what we might call unlearning, and we're rebuilding and we're reimagining, and a lot of that is very jolting, and when we really don't look at the subtleties of it, it can feel like very giant upheavals. But I want to invite you today to think about the subtle shifts that you're taking in your faith, the subtle shifts that you're taking in how you are evolving in the way that you see society, the way that you see politics, the way you see God. And all those ways we've experienced such dramatic changes as a collective. But there are a lot of subtle ways. And I think when we notice the subtleties, it helps it feel less jolting. It helps it feel like, oh, okay, I'm always changing. Oh, okay, this is like, I'm always evolving. Pay attention and honor those subtle shifts in your own understanding. So if you jumped in the middle of this, I just wanted to basically offer you this centering moment to honor the subtle shifts in your life, honor the subtle shifts in the season you're in, honor the subtle shifts in the energy space that you're experiencing even just today or this week, and honor the subtle shifts in your faith journey. I don't know, what else would be helpful there. I just wanted to share what I've been thinking about. And I hope that something in that can kind of take root wherever you are in your unique experience and season of life right now. And of course, please share in the comments if anything resonates with you there, or if you have anything that you want to add. I just feel like there's so much intensity right now in the timeline we're living in together. Collectively, there's so much intensity in how we're speaking to each other, how we're navigating the pandemic, how we are understanding ideas, and even just like in our moral compasses, there's so many intense moments. And so for me, one kind of like antidote to that is to take a step back and to pay attention to what's subtle around us. So I'm grateful for those of you who are able to join in live, and I'm sure some of you will watch later, but feel free to share in the comments what's up with you. We love you so much, Fran and Matt and I, and also Naomi too, who's working with our kids now. We are thinking about you every single day. I mean, literally, that's our work. We think about Jana too, our head deacon. Like, we are constantly planning programming and services and things that are coming up. And with every bit of that planning, we are thinking about our love for you and what we want and need in our community. So I hope you feel that and know that. And yeah, we're just really grateful. So stay in touch and let us know what you need. And y'all have a good rest of your Thursday.